say to me in Bowers Game Corner?
Boy there, YouTube. I'm back again for another How to Play video, and today I'm here to teach you Uno All Wild from Mattel. This is for 2 to 10 players, ages 7+. And the first thing you're going to want to do is take all the cards, shuffle them up, and deal out 7 cards to each player. So right now I have a 3-player game set up. Next, you're going to want us to take the top card, flip it over. This will be the start of the discard pile. You can ignore whatever you see there, and now you're ready to play the game. The player to the left of whoever dealt is going to go first, and on your turn, you are going to play one of your cards down. Now, all the cards are wild, so you can always play a card on your turn into the discard pile. So on your turn, you're just going to play a card and do whatever the action is. Now, there are a couple rules that we need to talk about and some new rules that you need to know. First, this is Uno, so if you ever get down to only one card in your hand, you need to say Uno faster than everyone else, and if someone else says it faster, you have to draw 2 cards. And to win the game, you need to get rid of all of your cards. Now, the big new rule in the game is that if the next player after you is about to win the game, then what you can do is instead of playing one of the cards in your hand, if you don't have a card that's going to stop them, you can draw the top card from the deck and then either play it, and hopefully it'll stop them, or not play it at all because it's not going to matter and they're about to win. So it's a really simple game at its core, but what you need to know are these cards right here. There's a grand total of 8 cards in the game. Let's go over all of them. So first we just have a typical wild. You play this, your turn is over. It doesn't actually do any actions. Next, we have a wild reverse. You play this, and it changes the order. Now, when you start, you're going to go clockwise around the table. You play this, it'll go counterclockwise. You play another one, it'll go clockwise. Next, we have the skip card, which will skip the next player in order. And then we have the new double skip, which will not skip one player, but it'll skip 2 players. So in a 3-player game, if this player played a double skip, this player and this player would get skipped, and then it'd go right back to him. Next, we have the draw 2, which makes the next player in order draw 2 cards, and they have to skip their turn. We also have the new targeted draw 2, which allows you to pick whoever you want to draw 2 cards, but they don't lose their next turn. Next, we have the draw 4, which will make the next player draw 4 cards and lose their turn. And don't forget, if you ever have to draw cards and there's no cards there to draw, just shuffle up the discard pile and start a new draw pile. And last but not least, we have the forced swap card. This means you're actually going to swap cards with any other player at the table when you play this card. This is not optional. If you play this card, you have to switch with someone else. Also, if you swap with someone who only has 1 card left, make sure you say Uno real fast. But the main thing to remember is that as long as your turn isn't skipped, you always will be able to play a card because every single one of these cards is wild. But that's how you're going to play Uno All Wild. Now let's talk about the additional scoring variant you can do if you want to play more than one game of Uno. This is really quite simple. How it works is if you win the game, so let's say this player right here won the game, they got rid of all their cards, you would tally up all the points in everyone else's hands, and then this player who won would get those points. Doing this is really simple. Any wild card with no action on it is worth 20 points, and any wild cards with an action are worth 50 points. So this right here would be 120 points. If the players reach 500 points and they won the game, if not, play another game of Uno. But that's Uno All Wild. If this helped you out, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Also, if you enjoy learning new games, click on that subscribe button as I teach new games all the time. And as always, go have some fun, and thanks for your time, YouTube. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.